Hi, my name is Aditi. I'm a member of the Teen Advisory Board of the Howard County Library System, and today I'm going to teach you how to solve polynomials. Before starting this video, you will need to know how to factor binomials, such as x plus 3 times x plus 5, basic long division, and what x-intercepts and factors are. When solving polynomials using long division, the format is the same as basic long division, shown in this problem here. Let's start with the example 12x cubed minus 11x squared plus 9x plus 18 divided by 4x plus 3. We will write this in the same format that we do for basic long division, with the divisor on the outside and the dividend on the inside. Since we can't distribute 4x minus 3 into the polynomial evenly, we're going to separate the terms so we can solve it individually. Let's take the highest term of the divisor and the dividend. 4x goes into 12x cubed 3x squared times. So we're going to put 3x squared up here above the like term. As 3x squared times 4x is 12x cubed, we're going to put it here. And don't forget that our divisor has another term, which is positive 3. So 3x squared times positive 3 is positive 9x squared. We're going to multiply all of this by a negative so that these two cancel out. And negative 11x squared minus 9x squared is equal to negative 20x squared. Now 4x goes into negative 20x squared negative 5x times. So we put negative 5x over here above the like term, and we're going to bring our positive 9x down here. Negative 5x times 4x is negative 20x squared, and negative 5x times 3 is equal to negative 15. Multiply all of this by a negative. These two cancel out, and 9x plus 15x is equal to 24x. 4x goes into 24x 6 times, so you put a positive 6 here, again above the like term, and we bring our 18 down. 6 times 4x is 24x, and 6 times 3 is 18. Now we multiply this by a negative. 24x minus 24x equals 0, so these cancel out, and 18 minus 18 is also 0. So since our answer is 0, this will be our remainder. So now we write our solution as 3x squared minus 5x plus 6. And this is our answer. Here's another example. Pause the video and try solving it on your own, and then I will show you how to do it. If you look at this problem, you can see that the polynomial is not in standard form. Standard form means it is in decreasing power of terms, such as x cubed, then x squared, then x to the first power, and then x to the 0th power, which is 1. So we're going to rearrange this before we start our problem. Now we format this in the same way that we have done with basic long division. Our first terms are here. X squared goes into 2x cubed 2x times. So we put that above the like term. We bring this down. 2x times x squared is 2x cubed. We subtract these so they cancel out. And 2x times positive 2x is equal to 4x squared. 2x times negative 1 is equal to negative 2x. Notice how I did it with all three of the terms. Now multiply everything by a negative and solve for the problem. We're going to bring down our 7, and x squared goes into 3x squared 3 times. So we put our 3 again above the like term. We're going to multiply 3 evenly through all 3 terms, so we get this value. And when we solve, we get negative 8x plus 10. Now, negative 8x does not go into x squared, as x squared is higher than negative 8x. So this is our remainder. Now, when we are writing a remainder, we know that this is still dividing by this, but this since this is lower than that, we have to write it as a fraction. So our final answer is 2x plus 3 plus negative 8x plus 10 divided by our factor, which is x squared plus 2x minus 1. Let's use synthetic division with this example. 3x cubed minus 5x squared plus 4x plus 2 divided by 3x plus 1. When solving this problem, our first step is to find what x is equal to. So we're going to put 3x plus 1 equal to 0, and we're going to solve for x. X is equal to negative 1 over 3. Now, when we do synthetic division, we have to use the coefficients of the dividend. These are labeled as 3, negative 5, 4, and 2. So here we're going to make an L shape. And on the outside of this L shape, we are going to put our x-intercept and our coefficients on the inside. Our first step is to bring down the 3. Now we're going to multiply 3 by negative 1/3, so we get negative 1. Negative 5 minus 1 is equal to negative 6. Negative 6 times negative 1/3 is equal to positive 2. 4 plus 2 is 6. And when we multiply this again by negative 1/3, we get negative 2. 2 minus 2 is 0. Our last calculation is different from the others as it is the remainder. So we're going to put an L around it and we're going to label it as the remainder. Since our remainder is 0, we don't have to worry about it. As our x-intercept is a fraction of negative 1 divided by 3, we have to divide our solutions by 3 as well. If it was a whole number, we would not have to do this. So we have to divide each of our numbers by 3. So this would be 1, this would be negative 2, and this would be 2. Now, how do we form them? We have to form them in order of decreasing degrees. So let's start with the lowest term of a polynomial, which is x to the 0th power. We would put x to the 0th power after 2. Then we take our next lowest term with x to the 1st power, which is x. Then we take our third lowest term and we put it on the last solution, which is x to the 2nd power. And this is how we would write our solution, which is x squared minus 2x plus 2. And this is our final answer as there is no remainder. Here's another example. X to the 4th power minus 14 divided by x minus 2. Pause this video and try it on your own, and I'll show you how to do it. Before starting to solve this problem, we can see that the degrees are not in order as 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, but rather as 4 and 0. So now we need placeholder values. Without placeholder values, our calculation will not be accurate. So here we have x minus 2 equals 0. So x is equal to 2. So we're going to put our x-intercept outside the L, and inside we have our 1 from x to the 4th power. This would be x to the 3rd power, which there isn't, so our placeholder value is 0. Then x to the 2nd power, x to the 1st power, and our last value, which is negative 14. We bring down our 1, multiply it by 2, so we get 2. 0 plus 2 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 0 plus 4 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. Again, this is 8. And 8 times 2 is 16. So we put our 16 here. Negative 14 plus 16 is 2. And this last value is our remainder. We start with our 8, then x to the 1st power, so 4x. X to the 2nd power, so 2x squared. And x to the 3rd power, so 1x cubed, or just x cubed. When we have a remainder, we write it in the same way that we would write with long division. We're going to add our remainder, which is again divided by our factor of x minus 2. And this is our answer. In this video, we learned how to do the long division of polynomials, how to do synthetic division of polynomials. When you're using long division, you can use it to solve any problem. However, for synthetic division, it can only be used when your divisor or factor has the highest degree of 1, meaning the highest degree has to be x to the first power, such as x minus 2, x plus 3, and 3x plus 9. In all three of these cases, x, which is the highest degree, is to the first power. Thanks for watching, and I hope this video was helpful for you.